All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Quick Sticks, the show where we talk everything PLL. Just James and I this week. James, how's it going, man?
Oh, good. Oh, good. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so Sam is not with us this week. He's out of town. Before we jump in, though, James, I got to ask, how's the Harry Potter marathon been?
Honestly, it was quite the adventure, man. I could do a whole podcast on that saga, so it was fantastic. Anybody who hasn't seen Harry Potter, this is my shout out to watch Harry Potter. It's awesome.
And James Wells watching this for the first time, ladies and gentlemen. So
First timer, big Gryffindor guy.
so you finished all of them?
I did.
Favorite one?
Favorite one. Yikes. So this is kind of a whack answer, but Deathly Hallows Part 2 is my favorite one right now because it brought everything together for me.
Yeah.
You know, it answered a lot of questions. But the time travel thing they did in Prisoner of Azkaban. Remember that?
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about? That was really fun to go through. That was like
yeah. I think Deathly Hallows 2 is my favorite, but Goblet of Fire
Goblet of Fire was amazing.
It's a dark horse.
Yes, it was. And it was a dark movie too. Pretty dark.
It was they're all kind of dark, but
yeah, that's true.
All right, so yeah, we got week 4 in the books. It was a fantastic weekend of games. Although not for our bet slips. James, you actually won. You went 2 for 4.
Okay.
Sam, who by the way guaranteed he would go for 4 for 4.
4 for 4. Yeah.
Went 1 for 4.
Analytics Sam, okay.
And your boy went 0 for 4, dude.
Wait, what? Did
0
you?
for 4. I mean, because I took all of the teams to cover by a goal and a half, and every team won by one
every
goal.
goal was won. Yep.
So you had to take the underdog.
Yep.
And I didn't. I mean, I think of all the teams I picked to win, I went 3 for 4, except Water Dogs.
That is wild how close they are with these. You know, with the plus or minus. Like that's wild to think. Like over 4 games over a whole weekend.
5 goals
that's crazy.
Separated 4 games.
5 goal difference.
Yeah. So I think it was the best weekend of games we've had to date this season.
By far.
So let's jump right in. First game we had was Archers Redwoods. Big surprise here was Redwoods make a change in nets. They gave Jack Kelly the start over Timmy Troutner, which was interesting. I don't know. What were your thoughts on this one?
So I actually tweeted with Joe a little bit before this game, asking him about the Jack Kelly and all that in the switch, and he was like, you have to change something. And from watching the game, the Redwoods absolutely made the right decision. I know it sounds crazy because they lost, but Timmy Troutner hasn't been playing well, and Kelly played on his head for an entire game. I mean, it really, and this is what really bothered me about this game is Kelly played so well, but his mistake was actually the difference in the game. Do you remember this mistake on the clear?
Yeah.
They picked that up, they scored. So he played so well, but like that little mistake was kind of the difference. I think the Redwoods are in even more of a panic mode now because that's a winnable game. A very winnable game. And the Archers, they struggled for a little bit, but as of right now, man, Marcus Holman is the best shooter in the league, and I don't have that argument with anybody. I mean, that near side shot he had in the left wing. I mean, come on, like that was So but to start the weekend off with this was awesome to have this 1-goal game, to see the Redwoods actually play well. Their offense was a little more fluid, but we'll get into it later. But I think my boy TD is still the issue. But
so I was going to agree with everything, but I mean, I thought TD looked better.
He did,
but I also just think we're seeing that Inacio is not ready to compete with these guys. So he's not. Like there's no denying Inacio is one of the quote unquote worst face-off guys in the league, which that's not a knock on him. He's a rookie.
It's not, and it's a small pool.
So. Yeah, and I mean, again, so I think there's a chasm that separates the top 3 from the bottom 3, but I thought it was good to see TD play better. He's still not playing great. He won 13 of 21, I think. So
especially late, he had some big face-offs.
Yeah, he did. Like, but again, I think they're kind of skewed because he was playing a rookie. So it's like
that's true. Like where was that the last?
He needs to play that well when they play the Chrome or the Atlas or the Whip Snakes.
Like if Trevor goes against Inacio, we're talking about 70+%.
You're talking 100% probably.
Yeah, probably maybe 80, 85
yeah.
would be out.
Realistically 80 or 90, but
also we didn't talk about Miles Jones didn't start. Forgot about that.
That's right. Wow, I forgot to mention that. Yeah. So Miles gets moved back to second line, which very interesting. Again, I think kind of like you were saying, I think Miles has been absent this season, so I think it was a necessary change.
And did it put the fire under him? Because he had 2 goals and he played well and he dodged downhill. He had his normal, like, get off me, top cheese. But Bertrand's is very good. Like the guy
Yeah.
that started over, he is like, he's very talented. So
And I do wonder if like Saint Laurent just, that first line of middies is Perkovic, Nakai, and Miles. So it's like you've got 3 guys who are not necessarily good feeders or ball movers. They're just guys who want to rip shots. So I think splitting them up is actually a good idea. Get someone like Bertrand's out there who's a better feeder, can get the ball moving to these guys. I mean, again, when the 3 of them were out there, Miles was on that line. It was just like stagnant offense.
Nobody was moving. Everyone's waiting to play drive and kick, but nobody's driving.
Yeah, so I mean, they made some changes, but this was another week of the Redwoods offense not producing. I mean, they
especially late, man. They went on.
I know they had basically 2 goals a quarter is what they had, and it's like that's not going to get it done.
I still think the Kai move the deep mid's their best decision. I'm telling you,
that's absolutely their best move.
I think it's not even a knock on his offensive skills. It's the way this game is played. Your defensive middies are offensive middies.
Yes. Too fast. Well, and especially with his speed.
Exactly.
That just ups your transition game so much.
And I think something that bothered me about this game, I kind of forgot about this. The Redwoods were struggling with clearing the ball, and it was making me so upset that they I think in the first half they had 5 missed clears or shot clock violation. I was like, dude, you can't have that when you're trying to fight back in this season. So that hurt to see. There's no reason for that. You guys are too good,
Yeah. No, I agree. It was a great game, though. I mean, it was back and forth.
Dude, it was fantastic.
Tight game in the fourth.
How many? How many saves did Kelly have? He literally played
He had 12 saves.
12 saves, 57%. Wow.
Yeah. So for his first start against an offense like Archers, I mean, I don't think you can ask for a better performance in net. Yes, he made a few mistakes like the botched clear, but that's stuff you can work on in practice.
100%.
I want your opinion, but I mean they have to keep Kelly in net, right?
Oh, Timmy Trevor lost his job.
Yes, I think so.
I said that after the first.
At least for the rest of this season.
Because it wasn't that he was making all these crazy plays. He's seeing the ball so well. I mean, I saw him literally looking up for an outlet as the ball's coming to him. I mean, that's a locked in goalie. He knows I got this save, who's up, so he's seeing the ball better. I mean, it happened. I mean, goal is a weird position. Once you have somebody who's not seeing the ball versus someone who is, you can't go forward. So weird tidbit, 10 shots for the Archers, 9 shots for the Redwoods. It's a low shooting game. That's crazy.
10 shots on net, you mean?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, or I guess, oh no, this is just for a half.
No, that's scores. Are you looking at scores?
Oh, you're right. So Archers had 24 on goal and Redwoods had 20. And I remember thinking of some Whip Snakes games where they had upwards of 50 shots,
this was definitely a lower shot total. I mean, you've had games with the Water Dogs and Whip Snakes who have been in the 50s.
Yeah, this was 62-33 face off. Wow, this was a pretty, even stat wise, pretty close. It's crazy.
Yeah, and that's the thing is dude, the Redwoods they've only gotten blown out once by the Chrome. They've hung around in every game pretty much except that game. So it's it's just it seems like every week there's just this last minute mistake that cost them the game. And this was a great game. It was back and forth all game into the fourth quarter. Marcus Holman finally puts in the game winner with I think 4 minutes left, but I mean the game was tied for a lot of it. So it's they were right there with an Archers team that's very good. There. So
I feel like they're getting that Cannon syndrome of last year. Right. Remember when they were playing so well, but they lost, 5 games by 1 goal. And because of that, they were at the bottom of the, it's crazy.
Yeah. But so Archers end up winning this one 10-9. So Archers moved to 3-2. Redwoods dropped to 1-4. Is officially panic mode for the Redwoods.
It is.
So moving on to the second game we had was Atlas Chrome. This game had everything you want in a true lacrosse game.
This game was amazing.
This was,
it was amazing.
A fantastic game. Atlas pulled ahead by 5 goals early on in the first half, but then it was all Chrome in the second half. Chrome scored 7 goals in the second half, held Atlas to 3 goals, and somehow still lost the game.
And lost the game.
So Atlas or Chrome, I think tied it up at 13 with 2 minutes left, and then Jeff Teat put in the game winner with a little over a minute left. So again, fantastic game, back and forth,
Yep.
down to the wire. What'd you think on this one?
I think this was one of the most entertaining games of even not just this year, but even last year. I mean, it was, and I thought you were gonna kind of hint on it when you just like brought that up. But like, I love that we say like, don't call it a Chrome back. Like, I love this. Like, I'm gonna play that up, and like they've been saying that every week.
Yeah,
It was super fun, basically because of what happened at the X. Trevor and Farrell right now are like the guys. I mean, they're the best two in the league.
yeah.
And I think that is what really worried me about Trevor. And I want to get your take on this. Do you think, one, Trevor should have continued playing? And two, are you on the camp that was thinking it was just cramps, it's not a big deal? Or do you think this is an injury that's going to linger? Because he was literally hobbling.
Yeah,
last 6 minutes.
It definitely was not cramps.
Okay.
I don't know. I find it hard. So I'm not trying to talk down on the Fogo position. I think it's probably the hardest position, maybe besides goalie in the sport, but
Sure.
I don't think you're on the field enough to get cramps. But I also, if he probably does get cramps, but
Yeah.
Even if it was cramps, that's not cramps don't linger that long.
Yeah.
Like this is a professional sport. They know how to get rid of cramps. So if it's
Sure.
cramps, he wouldn't have been limping like that. But
Sure.
on the flip side, even if it was something serious, this is a huge game. And we've hit on it all season about this is not a long season. This was a game the Atlas could not lose.
Yep. And
Like,
he knew that.
Yeah. You're talking about if you lose this game, you drop 2 games behind the Chrome. They move to 5-0, you go to
Jesus.
3-2. So
Yeah.
I think it was more than cramps, but I think Trevor just kind of told the trainers, like, I'm going back in the game.
I'm going regardless. Because like he had to get helped off the field the last 3 faceoffs.
Well, and what we talked about last week was like Atlas are winning by a huge margin of faceoffs, but they're barely winning games. So I think he was like, you need me out there because if I don't win faceoffs, Connor Farrell's going to win them all, and then we're never going to get the ball back.
Because like it's scary to see a 1-goal game, but the Atlas shot 40% from the field and the Chrome shot 29.
Mhm.
Dog, how's that a 1-goal game?
That's what I'm saying.
How's that happen? Like that's great. But like I said this when I bet Sam, which obviously I lost this bet because I had the Chrome winning. I told Sam like this game again proved that like the Chrome can score when they want to. Like they're that good and that talented.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of tough to be 4 weeks in and we're already calling it like a Chrome back. I mean, that means you guys have been down in every single game, you know, like that, like which is bad, but they have come back and won a lot of them. And I think Concannon looked really good too. I was really impressed by him. He made a lot of big saves late.
I mentioned that last week of like this game played into Concannon's strengths.
Yeah.
The Chrome love the inside feeds. Don't shoot a lot of 2-pointers. Right. So Concannon looked great though.
He did. Danny Logan's some of those 2-pointers are looking with some gas on him.
Yeah, Danny Logan's
that was
real good.
That was sick. Logan Wisnowski, 6 points, man. 4 goals, 2 assists. Like he's looking good.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I was so stoked for this game. I mean, it had a ton of young firepower on both sides of the ball. You've got 2 of the best Fogos in the league, like you said.
Yeah.
And you've got 2 of the hottest goalies right now between the pipes, and Scanone and Concannon. So this game did not disappoint at all.
Nope.
I want this to be a rivalry so bad, but Atlas are now 5-0 against the Chrome in the PLS history. So
I mean, are we gonna like, I don't know, change our metrics for the rivalry for this sport because there's just not enough games.
What constitutes a rivalry though?
That like it has to go back and forth. It has to.
Even if it's 5-0 the series.
But like, because like the Whipsnakes and the Redwoods are the same thing. They're a rivalry, but like the Whipsnakes do win every time. But it's still a rivalry. It really is. They hate each other. I don't think these guys are at that step. You know what I mean? Like
it's like Patriots Jets. It's like it's a rivalry, but it's kind of not. We know who's good.
Do the Jets have to hate the Patriots? Yes. They're not. Never not. Actually, that's true. I want it to be too. I just it was just fun. Honestly, this was just a fun game. It was awesome.
Oh, I've already rewatched it. It was a great game.
Yeah, it was up
Um,
and down. The 2-pointers like really changed the swing of the game, and the comeback. I mean, everybody likes to watch a comeback.
yeah, of course. So yeah, Atlas do win this one. I'm actually really glad Sam's not here for this. So
Yep. Lost
they
money to
moved
him.
to 4-1. Chrome take their first L of the season. They dropped to 4-1.
Wow.
I think that might be a preview of the championship though. Assuming no one gets upset. I think those are the top 2 seeds.
Okay.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can get to it.
So let's move to Saturday. First game we had on Saturday was Chaos versus Cannons. Chaos finally get their first win of the season. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Chris Cloutier officially back.
Officially
back.
God,
So interesting thing here, Chaos were without TK at the stripe, which was interesting. So they go with Jerry Raganese. I don't know if that's how I'm saying it right.
Sure.
They started with him until he got hurt. Also had just a dope goal.
Yep.
Just straight off the face off.
With the cane.
Just the cane. I mean, it was just a nightmare at face off for the Chaos. So they end up winning just 3 of 16 face offs in the first half.
We had Jack Rowlett out there. We had Jerry.
You had everybody.
I mean,
and you guys still somehow led by 2 at halftime. No idea. So Chaos offense, I would say look back into their normal personas. Chris Cloutier again looked dominant out there. I thought Blaze looked super sharp in net. He had 20 saves. So James, are your Chaos back?
100%.
Are they?
So it's not the fact that they won. If they would have won in a different way, I wouldn't say that. Dude, our offense looked like creative backdoors, finishes in tight, Byrne getting top side and feeding Chase Frazier and those guys, Cloutier shooting bounce shots. I mean, it wasn't just the fact that we won, it was actually how they won. And I feel like the offense is really getting that mojo kind of back. And people are realizing how much pressure it takes off of our defense when we're doing that. Like even when we're like scoring, we're getting the shot clock back, like it helps us a lot in the long run. So yes, I do think they are back. Like, this game made me very excited for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, and you guys still aren't even at 100%, which is crazy. We still have not seen Nanacoke.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought you guys looked great. I think we'll talk about it later. I think the Cannons are in trouble, but no, I thought just speaking on the Chaos, I thought you guys looked like the 2021 Chaos a little bit. Blaze having 20 saves in net is what you need. You're going to need Blaze to bail you out of some games. It's going to happen. And I think this was, he didn't necessarily bail you guys out, but he played great.
Yeah. And a lot of saves, like, I mean, he had to make some saves that he shouldn't have made. We always talk about that. But I think in addition to our like cool offense and like the creativity, it was how spread out it was. Like Josh Byrne had 4 goals. Kyle had 3. Dean Smith had 3. Cloutier had 2. Like this is how they play. You know, everybody really gets touches. So it was exciting to see Towers back on the sideline kind of losing it. But we have to talk about it, man, just because Lyle Thompson's goal from X. With
I've watched that replay so many times and it just doesn't make sense.
People have to understand when you do that shot, you usually try to like dodge to one side and then you dodge to the other, and to finish your dodge, you dive and you dunk. He just said, "Nah, I'm just gonna go." And like we talked about before, it's funny that like he was going against Blaze, who knows about all those shots because they each other.
For sure.
So he knew when he was going down, and he still was late. So Lyle Thompson's still the most creative scorer in the league by far.
For sure.
And if you haven't seen what the Cannons did with as many likes as they got, they made Lyle go higher and higher in the air. It's a pretty awesome picture. They have him basically at like where the planes are.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But no, I was super exciting. I think the Cannons should be worried, and I think people should be worried about the Chaos. For sure.
Yeah, no, I agree. So Chaos get the win, move to 1-4. Meanwhile, the Cannons started 1-0 and have lost 4 straight.
Yikes!
Time to hit eject on the Cannons. But
yeah, that is sorry.
Not ideal. So last game of week 4 was a good one. It was a good one.
You wanna take this one?
Oh yeah. It was Water Dogs versus the Whip Snakes. These teams met in week 2 in Charlotte. We watched it. It was a heartbreak loss in overtime. Brad Smith put in the game winner in overtime, ripped my heart out. But No, Dylan Ward was back, which was great to see. Gets the start in net for the Dogs. I did not give the Dogs a chance in hell in this one. This was I was like, I don't care what the spread is. I don't care if it's 4. I said it last week. I was like, I think this is a 5 or 6 goal victory for the Whip Snakes.
Yep.
The game went exactly like a normal Water Dogs game. They jump out to an early lead, have a small lead by halftime, although usually they're losing at halftime. But anyway,
Sure.
third quarter opens up, immediate Whip Snakes run. They're down by 2 within like 3 minutes. It was a 2-bomb to start off the game.
That 2-bomb changed everything.
Tie the game. Immediately tied the game. Like all your momentum from the first half is gone.
And you have all those like big halftime speeches. We're gonna come out. We're gonna do this. And bam, tie game.
Yeah. So Whip Snakes end up leading by 2 for most of the second half.
Right.
Kieran McCardle was the absolute hero in this game. Had a hat trick just in the fourth quarter.
I was gonna say only in the fourth quarter, right?
He got which is insane. So Water Dogs do the impossible, take down Goliath. Dukes from the Creestat podcast was the only person I saw last week that actually liked the Water Dogs in this game. I listened to as many podcasts as I could because I was driving up to DC. So I listened to podcasts the entire time.
Yep.
And the only person I heard say, I like the Dogs in this one was Dukes.
Wow,
and he's a big Water Dogs fan, so that makes sense. But
I get that.
No, so the Water Dogs pull off a massive upset, hand the Whip Snakes their first loss of the year. I thought our offense looked fantastic. I mean, Sowers, Kieran McCardle, Ryan Brown had a quiet night, but no, I thought Sowers looked like prime Sowers playing quarterback at X. Connor Kelly looks great, but I thought Dylan Ward looked incredible in net until he got hurt. He had like a 70% save percentage or something. There was a lot of back and forth about did Andy Copeland make the right call in putting Ward in, or should he have just rested him? I like it in hindsight. I thought for sure Matt DeLuca would have gotten the start because with the break coming up, but I think it was good to get him some reps for the break.
Dude, I think that is everyone playing hindsight in sports. I hate
that.
It's like, oh, he got hurt. You shouldn't have played him. Stop it. Yeah. They don't win this game without him, man. I mean, those saves that he had. I mean, I guess I then have to wonder. I think you guys win this game by a couple more goals if he plays the entire time. I'm not kidding at all, 100%. Yeah. And I think as of this week, if somebody wants to check me on this, they can. I don't think Sowers is guardable, truthfully. I mean, I saw him make every defender on the Whip Snakes has to anticipate where he's going to go. They can't read his hips. Like they were just running upfield because they were like, if he goes this way, I'm right, and if not, they'll know what to slide.
So I absolutely agree. It's his quickness, but I think it's also just how low he gets to the ground. He's a pretty short guy.
Yep.
But like when he runs around the side of X and just dives, like unless you dive with him, there's nothing you can do on that.
Like I think Dunn was on him in the beginning of the game. Yeah, I think Matt Dunn was on him, or even like Bernhard. Like he was mic'd up for the game. He was like, seriously, I can get topside on him. Like he was like, he can't run with me. I mean,
his first step is
so quick.
The quickest I think I've ever seen in my life.
100%. Like for us to say he has an AI crossover lacrosse, that's accurate. He does.
I mean, yeah.
Like it's quick, bro.
So I like, and I think he's great at his position of playing that quarterback position, but it's like, dude, when you guys are down by 2, you need to do that every time. Like you need to just take the ball and go get a goal because it's going in 9 out of 10 times.
Especially if you're attacking Ryan Brown's side.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Then you have to make your choice. Make your choice. Go ahead.
Exactly. If that slide comes, perfect. Yeah.
Dump it and then turn and rake. So
I thought he looked great. The Whips once again win the faceoff battle by a landslide.
Huge margin. Lose the game.
And don't put up offensive numbers. I do not get it. Zed Williams, 2 points. Yep. Matt Rambo, 2 points. Justin Gutterding, 1 point.
Jesus.
That cannot happen.
That's crazy.
Against any team in this
league.
It
was what we got on faceoffs?
Dude, it was Zach Tucci won 8 of 23.
63% to 33%. 1 goal game and you lose. That's crazy.
Like it was not close. That's right. At all.
Wild. So have we heard anything about Ward? Have we heard if it was?
No, I actually haven't. Okay. It was his thumb, I think. So
Honestly, I bet he like hyperextended it, and like it's like as long as no ligaments are like broken or anything, I'm sure he'll be back. Because dude, if he's back, I mean, you guys are hitting your stride at the right time. I'm not kidding.
Yeah,
You guys look really good.
I think even if it was just something like a bruise, they would have just said, "Screw it, we're not risking you." But
It's not worth it.
yeah, dude, my dogs are officially back on track, man. Winning
100%.
leading into the All-Star break is huge.
And beating the Whips in this manner. That's
yeah,
because then you get that game back, right? Like that one you felt like you dropped in Charlotte. You're like, yeah,
right.
we got it. We
And
got it back.
dude, the Whips knocked them out of the playoff last year. I forgot. So this was like,
that's right.
This was a double revenge.
The 6-win season, yeah.
Yeah. So this was a huge win. Huge win.
Dude, Kian McCardle is so crafty.
He's like one of the most
so fun to watch. He's just so like creative in this game. So
yeah,
big fan. That was awesome. That was like a really fun game.
Yep. So Water Dogs are at 2-3 now.
Okay.
Whip Snakes dropped to 4-1, leading into the break. So that wraps up week 4. We did want to look at the All-Star rosters, which were just released, I believe, yesterday.
Yeah.
So we've got Team Baptiste versus Team Farrell.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on the rosters? Anything you liked or didn't like or surprises?
I think the Jake Pulver slander is going to bother me for the rest of his time.
Amen.
Obviously, he deserves to be on an All-Star roster, but like to say that he doesn't deserve to start, I think is like mind-boggling. Truthfully.
Yes.
He's second in calls turnovers, whatever. Like that really bothers me.
It's just his job.
Like, the best defenders get like, the least talked about. We talked about offensive linemen. It's the same thing. Like the best offensive lineman, you don't know their name, and I feel like it's the same thing. JT Giles Harris getting the mark on Team Farrell. I'm glad people are realizing what he's doing because he is shutting down some of the best guys in the PLL, and he's obviously been playing really well. I do think Team Farrell has the edge over Team Trevor. So I'm curious what your thoughts on just the rosters alone. Who do you think kind of is stronger?
I agree. I think Team Farrell is more talented.
Sure.
One thing that stuck out to me is I find it very interesting that Logan Wisnauskas is starting, but Brendan Nichtern isn't.
Whoa.
He's an alternate, or I guess not an alternate, but he's just not starting.
He's a reserve, yeah.
Reserve, yeah, sure. I would have Nichtern starting over Chris Gray and Logan, but
I mean, it's the fan thing. I mean,
that's what I think. I think this is already like the NBA All-Star game where it's more of just a fan or a flashy players.
It's not that bad yet.
It's not, but it's trending that way.
And I'm glad our boy Chrome Goalie got it.
Yeah,
he deserves it. He does literally having one of the best seasons.
But no, I agree. I think Jake Pulver not starting is ridiculous. I think a lot of people are looking at the Cannons as a team and saying, Nick Morocco's getting shelled most games, which is true. But, this is all-star players, not all-star teams. And I think if you watch Jake Pulver, as a solo defender, he's absolute straps on defense right now.
Yep.
So
one of the best, easily.
And again, like lacrosse is a team sport. You need 3 solid defenders to play good defense. So he can still do his job, but when players slide off of him, there's nothing you can do about that. So
it's true. We've seen really good corners on bad football teams.
Right, exactly. So I think that's what we're seeing. So I think there's a little bit of bias in that, but the Jake Pulver slander, man, is becoming a thing.
It's terrible. I'm telling you, it's a lot of box score watchers. I'm telling you.
Yeah. So what about rules for the game? Have you seen any of those?
I saw some that I don't know. Maybe some of them were a joke. I have heard things about maybe possibly trying to do like what the Sixes do, no face-offs. I saw something that was bouncers are like 4 points or something. I was like, that's gonna be like I was like, wait, what?
Oh God.
Yeah, right. I think the only one that I'm okay with was every goal must be submitted to Diggs tape, and if it's ADAP, then we're good. Then we get the goal.
Love that.
Yeah. What about you? What have you heard?
Well, the part of my take guys wanted no shot clock. They just wanted the ball to explode if you take too long to score. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Imagine the panic
can you
in
imagine
60 seconds?
Crippling the ball just to explode.
Oh Oh my god! Wow, that's
no,
good.
one I saw that actually is feasible was a money ball, like in the 3-point competition. So they get a different colored ball and say this one's
Yo,
worth 3 points.
dude, that would actually be sick. I'd love
Love
that.
that.
I'd
Because you
absolutely.
know that's gonna tee everyone's
Wow.
juices up of like you cannot let this ball go in the net.
Yeah. What? Okay. So wait, would it be a money ball in that if you scored a 1, it'd be a 2, and you score a 2, it's like you know what I'm saying?
So I think it was just gonna say,
Like
I
just
mean,
a
I'm
3-point
assuming it would
ball.
be like this ball is worth 2 no matter where it's scored from.
Okay. Okay.
Um, but so and I haven't seen anything on this. I'm hoping I think it should just be one possession or like one shot.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like if you shoot it and the goalie saves it, no more money ball. If you shoot it and
Okay.
it goes out of bounds, no more money ball. Like it's one shot.
Wow.
So
So
like you
like
got to make that shot count.
that would be cool because you know each team would have like a really solid play to run
That's
for
what
the
I'm
money ball.
saying.
You
You would
know,
see
like
these
you see
sick
like
plays
the quick
coming.
hitters, yeah. Because you're like, yo, we can't miss this. Because if we miss it and they hit it, like we're down by like 5 or 6 or whatever.
But yeah,
Wow.
and I also don't like because then you're gonna have teams. If you kept the money ball alive, you're gonna have teams shoot, and the other team's gonna grab it and just run down the field. And
That's
I
true.
just think, I mean, it's gonna take a lot, but transition offense in that game is gonna be fast.
I
So I'm
mean,
like, if you miss that
yeah,
shot, you better get your ass back on defense.
yeah. Are they going with the tie-dye jerseys again? Have we seen them?
Yeah, no, they're not tie dye. They're yellow and black.
Yellow and black. Okay. Wow.
Um, yeah, not impressed. I thought the shorts were cool, but the jerseys
Yeah,
they
yeah.
look like the Steelers.
Yeah, I don't love that. I think this league's done a really good job with All-Star Weekend so far because I've every year I've watched Fastest Shot, I've actually watched the All-Star game and we've gotten some of the best clips from PLO. Like remember Paul Raples around the world,
Oh yeah,
and then like when Miles Jones is clearing the ball and Will Manny's like, yeah, you can go. Like that's one of like
that's
the
a business
funniest.
decision. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Like that clip is just like a little little funny thing. So I'm
yeah, I'm
excited, man.
excited.
I'm
It'll
excited.
be fun.
I don't want it to get to a point where it's diluted and then we have to like change things. But like even the NBA as of recently has done a lot better with the All-Star game and making it competitive.
Yeah.
Do you think they could adopt something like the NBA? They play to a number. You know what I'm saying? Like first
I
one to
actually,
11 wins.
yeah, I don't
You know,
mind that.
because
I
it
don't know.
makes that last minute intense. It really does.
I'm such a not, I guess stickler is the right word, but I just am not a fan of mid-season All-Star games. I
Oh,
like,
okay.
I like, I will never say anything good about the Pro Bowl because I think it's the biggest joke of an
It
event
is. It's
ever,
bad. It's
but
bad.
I like the timing of the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, at least it's over.
Um,
Yeah.
I think this would be the perfect time to do an all-star game. I think is like the week after the championship.
Yeah.
I get you can't do that in big sports because you've got celebrations, parades. You don't have that in the PLL, so it's like
Sure. They could do
the
right
week after
after.
the celebration, these guys are probably like back to normal life. So
Yeah,
or
that's
do
true.
2 weeks after. But
Yeah.
in an all-star game, I want to see fully talented rosters, but I don't want to risk one of my favorite players going down with an injury and then your season's
100%.
over.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true.
so it's
That's true.
if Jeff Teague goes down in this game,
Yeah.
Atlas are hosed.
Yeah, and it looks bad. I guess the only
Yeah,
kicker or the only rebuttal I'd have to that is like there's a way to play lacrosse in a safe enough way that like the chances of that stuff happening is low.
there is. Yeah, and
You
I
know,
think
because like there's going to be no
that's
cross
yeah,
checks. People are going to be coming cross crease trying to take people's heads off, which is usually
right.
where injuries happen. I think clears are basically open, so
Yeah,
it's just if everybody plays safe. I mean, there's going to be
I
no
do like they should play to a number. Yeah,
yeah, but like there's going to be no Sean Taylor, taking out a punter's head
hell no,
for no reason.
there better not be. Michael Earhart will get a lipful from me if that happens. He put a hit on Sowers.
I was gonna say we didn't talk about that, but Sowers got up. He was ready for the smoke.
Sowers wanted for the hands.
I
That inner Philly dog and Sowers came out just for a
dude,
little bit.
that was
just for a little bit.
He even like pushed off his helmet. He's like, "No, I want you to hear this. I want you to hear
Dude,
what I
he
have to say."
was. I
The thing
wanted him
is,
mic'd up so bad for that.
people don't realize, man, he was a cross check away from possibly this being his second, veteran
Yeah.
year.
Yep.
Like he knows when he comes around the cage, like he's gonna take a hit, but it's like, yo, there's a way to do this that you don't have to like take out my season.
Well, and I mean, he was airborne, so it made it a lot worse. But it was a late
100%.
hit.
It was very late. It was come on. I'm
It was
cool
late.
about hits over there. It was late.
I'm biased, but it was a late hit.
It was.
So All-Star Game is this weekend. It's going to be great events. We're looking forward to it. So midseason rankings. I want to hear your midseason rankings, and then I'll give mine.
What? Okay, you show me. You show me.
I'll go first if you want.
No, I got it. All right. Oh boy.
And again, this is not the PLL standings are obviously out.
Yeah, that's what I'm
for the
looking at to
midseason.
make
I
it
want to
look
hear who you think are the best teams in order.
Sure. All right, so I got Atlas, Chrome, Water Dogs, Archers, Chaos, Redwoods, Cannons.
You forgot Whip Snakes.
Sorry, I had Whips Whips before Chaos.
So
Whips before Chaos.
at 5.
5 at 5.
Okay.
Yep. And then the rest is the same.
Chaos, Redwoods, Cannons.
Redwoods, Cannons.
Wow. So mine's very similar. I'm shocked you have the Water Dogs that high, Dan.
Dude, you don't understand what Whip Snakes game did for me. You guys looked your defense, and you guys looked that good. Anyway, continue.
I had Atlas at 1, Chrome, Water Dogs. I've got Whips at 4. So I think our only difference is we have Archers and Whips flipped.
Okay.
I've got Whips at 4, Archers at 5. I actually might put Chaos at 5.
This is literally just based upon last week. That's
so
right.
And I think when Grant Ament comes back, I think so I'm going to keep Archers at 5, Chaos at 6, and then an enormous gap. Redwoods at 7, Cannons at 8.
Like Michael Strahan type gap.
Oh boy, that's rough. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think Atlas Chrome could again very well be a preview of the championship. I think Water Dogs have shown they can hang with the top teams in this league, but they got to keep it going. They got to prove a little bit more to me.
So people aren't going to like to hear this, and we've kind of touched on it every time. But like the Atlas really scare me that they're not winning 10-5 when they're winning 80% of the balls. Man, that's crazy.
I know.
Like, dude, like in the playoff, that's not going to fly. That is not going to work.
But it might.
But like,
who's going to beat Baptiste?
But like the playoffs are a different beast. They really are.
They are.
We know that. We know that. And those little statistics that like they build up during the season, they matter. They matter when you get down to crunch time.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Because if the difference in the game is 1 goal, then Trevor's not the difference in the game.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah, I think the rankings are going to move around, shift a lot.
Yeah.
Get shaken up, but I think the bottom 2 are solidified. I think the Redwoods and the Cannons are by far the 2 worst teams.
What's kind of weird is like the Redwoods aren't a bad team.
They are though.
They're just playing poorly. They're not bad.
That makes them a bad team.
Okay, so like I feel like it's more X's and O's.
I think when you look at their roster, you're like, how is this team so bad? But they're playing bad.
But like I guess what I'm saying is like the Redwoods haven't been blown out every week.
No, they have not at all.
You know, like they are, let's say like 6 to 7 goal difference, and they win 2 or 3 more games. If I say, hey, let's give them 7 goals and they still have the same score or same record, I think that's different. But
that's fair. That's fair.
I don't know. Maybe I just want them to be good. But
I think we all do. They're a fun team to watch when they're good.
They are when Jules is playing well and everything. I don't know. But,
yeah.
So it sounds like we're pretty close, and we both think the Water Dogs are going to make a run. You feel like once the Archers get Ament that they're going to jump, obviously.
I do. But again, like when you guys get Nanacoke, I think you guys make a jump. I think the team that worries me the most in the top 4 is the Whip Snakes. Their offense has looked bad.
Yeah, I'll touch on that on the next point. So we'll get into that. Real quick before we move on, did you see Josh Burns' insane goal in the 6s? He did it again.
Oh, between the legs? Yes.
Yeah, between legs on the run. Come on.
Yes.
Man. Come on. Man.
Filth. Pure
just
filth.
absolute disgusting.
All right. So looking back at the first half of the season, we want to talk about some surprises, whether it's a player, whether it's a team, whether it's a league, whether it's good or bad. James, give me one thing that surprised you this year.
I literally went on a 3-minute rant about it in the last episode, so it's not a big surprise for me, but it's TD by far. I thought
Wow.
TD was going to be a constant for the Redwoods, and then they added so much talent that it was just going to be a shoe-in that they were going to be so good. I guess the question was brought up last week: is that lingering injury still affecting him? He actually should be number 6 on the list behind Thomas Kelly. He is at 48% from the strike.
Yikes.
And like, is 48 bad? Yes, but it's really bad when there are 2 guys who are above 70%. I mean, dude,
Yeah.
we're talking a different, a different atmosphere. So TD, man, I thought he was going to dominate again. He just hasn't. So
Yeah, I think it's even worse when you've been in the 70s and now you're
exactly. Everyone, like,
1 year
you've
later.
shown us. You've shown us you
Yeah.
can do it. So it's like you changed. So TD, what you got?
I'm gonna go a little more general. So I am just looking at the league as a whole.
Okay.
I am still just shocked at how dominant this rookie class has been as opposed to previous rookie classes we've seen. Like, we have never seen this many rookies make this big of an impact.
Yeah.
To where it's Logan, Chris Gray, Brendan Nickturn, Asher Nolting, Matt Moore,
even
Bubba Fairman.
Bubba Fairman, Danny.
You are seeing, we're seeing this
Yeah.
wave of players that is going to be the top players in the league for probably the next 10 years.
Easily. So
like, that's what we're seeing.
Okay, this is kind of weird that you and I basically have the same take. So
Wait, really?
league, yeah. So my league, point on the season, I said, I think I had an assumption that players really need an entire season to get acclimated to the PLL, but at the end of the day, this season proves that that's wrong. There's players coming straight from college who not only look like they're they're ready to go, but they're dominating. I think it might be different position to position, but I think it literally speaks to what Mark McNeil told us on the podcast. He was like, players are getting better when they come out. Like, I think I tried to like make up this whole just like the NBA, like, oh, they got to go G League and do this. Like, dude, it's just not true. They're ready. They're ready.
Yeah.
And they look good. I mean, Matt Moore looks like one of the best Dodgers in the league by far.
Yes.
As a rook.
After 4 weeks or 5 weeks.
Yeah. So we both kind of had this similar take. That's interesting.
Yeah, I did want to focus on one player that I just mentioned. So one player that surprised me in a good way is Asher Nolting, I have to say.
Yeah.
This dude, we had him on last week. He talked about how he was not happy with where he was drafted. He loves being on the Cannons, didn't want to, he's not saying anything bad about the team he's on, but he saw some players get drafted and was thinking, I'm better than these guys. And he's shown he's proven he's better than most of them.
He's right.
I think he's in a good position having Lyle to take some of the pressure off him, but his style of play, him playing off ball, he's not just that guy to get the ball and do everything himself. He's passing the ball around
very well.
He's already got like 15 points this year. Like, he's playing really well. And for a guy that was drafted as late as he was, he's really not getting as much of a media shout out, but like when we were in Charlotte, I actually saw a lot of Asher Nolting jerseys on kids. So, I mean, he's already a household name.
Yep. As he should be.
But yeah, I think I had an expectation for Asher Nolting, and he's already exceeded it.
And we talked about this for the draft. I said this was going to happen. As kids get drafted from smaller schools, they're going to be overlooked. But go look at Asher's stats, man. He literally dominated all of college since he was a sophomore.
Yeah.
Wow, that's actually a great show, and he's played really well. I loved listening to him talk about when he moved from midi to attack and the different ways he would practice. He's like, oh, I'm talking about throwing angles from up top versus throwing angles from the wing. Yeah. He's practicing. I was like, dude, this is crazy. These guys prepare in a different way.
So much.
All right. So my last one is the Whip Snakes in a bad way.
Yeah, no shit.
So
which is crazy because they're 4-1.
Because they're 4-1 for the first time, which is so hard to say. But the Whipsnakes' inability to hold on to the ball is blowing my mind.
Oh,
you ready for this stat? The stat that surprised me the most is this season so far, they've turned the ball over 94 times. In all of 2021, they turned the ball over 150 times. That's crazy.
Yikes. We might be hitting that by week 7.
That's what I'm saying.
Damn.
So I said, but there are still winning games. But I said that won't get you to the ship. I said you can only fake it until you make it for so long.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, it was a stat. You can't disagree with it. They're turning the ball over a shit ton.
But they are, they're putting wins together, and a lot of this is burn lore. Also, I'll say that.
That's what I was gonna say. I think this record does not reflect the Whip Snakes. I think this is reflecting Joseph Nardella and Kyle Burnmore, and that's it.
Which people are realizing those positions are so big that you can be poor in other parts.
And I'll throw Michael Earhart in there. Michael Earhart's still the best L7 in the league.
He's such a nightmare.
Yeah, they're again, like if you want an idea of like what the Whip Snakes are doing on offense, go watch the last two games.
Yep.
I forget who they played 2 weeks ago, but watch that game and then the Water Dogs game.
Yeah,
they're getting possessions, they're getting opportunities. They are just like sloppy on offense right now. The passes are bad, the shots are bad.
A lot of like passes that are low behind, just like little things that are just turning into like just nightmare turn. I mean,
I agree. I think you can overcome that kind of stuff with really good face-off play, with really good goaltending.
Yep.
In the regular season. In the postseason, that shit's gonna come back to bite you in the ass.
Exactly. And like this is why I get upset. And the same thing's gonna happen to PLL. It happens to all their sports, but like something will happen in the playoffs. And someone will say, like, wow, this is so surprising. I didn't see this during the regular season. I'm like, that's because you didn't watch.
Right.
This has been an issue the entire time. Like, let's take the wonderful Los Angeles Lakers. Like, they didn't have good wing defenders the entire season. And then as they need to make the playoffs, people are like, dude, why can't they defend? This has been an issue the whole time. And this is what it's going to be for turnovers for the Whip Snakes. They're going to turn the ball over late in the quarter, and I'm going to be like, dude, they're getting kind of sloppy. And me and Matt are going to go, they've been sloppy. I mean,
correct.
Sloppy Joe Nardella.
God. Well, he's the only one not sloppy.
Yeah, he's actually not.
Yeah. I mean, they got to figure it out, but it's, and a lot of people are like, Zed joining late. I get it, but we've talked about this. It's like, he's been back 2 weeks, man.
I was gonna say we're past that, man.
We're halfway through the season, dog. Like you gotta get ready.
That excuse is only gonna work for. I'll give the team a week, maybe a week and a half. But like this whole like, it's got to give them time to
like chaos.
Yeah,
you guys had everyone back versus the Water Dogs. They were rusty. Second week was this or last week.
Yeah,
you guys look back.
We're back. Yeah. We're back. Everyone's back. Like, let's go. We're professionals for a reason. So
one player that surprised me in a bad way.
Oh boy.
In the season overall is Ryan Brown. Actually, I have not been impressed with Ryan Brown.
He did get shut down last game.
He got shut down last game. 2 weeks ago, he had a great game, but that was really his only like good game of the year.
But is that a proponent of like that?
So yes, there is an asterisk next to this. This is not just a reflection of Ryan Brown. This is a reflection of the Water Dogs, the offense he's in.
Yeah.
But their offense has had a few weeks where they've just been dead on arrival. So
nice.
They're not utilizing Ryan Brown as much as they could be. Like I just don't think people realize. And if you just started watching the PLL this year, you're thinking like Ryan Brown's an okay attackman.
Sure.
He is the most talented shooter in this league.
Like, come on, man. Everyone knows that.
If I'm watching the PLL for the first time this year, I don't know that.
He 27% from the field.
So this is not Ryan Brown has shown he still is the best shooter in the league. He still has all the talent. He has not lost a step in anything.
Damn, he's had some bad weeks though.
I think they waited too long to focus the offense around him. I think they were really hyped with Sowers coming back, with Jack Hanna coming to the team, with Kieran McCardle there.
It's true.
I just think they kind of tried to take some of the spotlight away from Ryan Brown when you should do the opposite. It's like, let Ryan Brown take 10 shots a game. I don't care.
Yeah.
And then everyone else, if he's not open, go ahead. But 2 weeks ago against the Chaos, they focused on getting Ryan Brown the ball, and he put up like 5 points.
Yep.
So
he shot a high percentage that game too. That was the difference.
Yeah. So I should say the Water Dogs have surprised me in a bad way, not necessarily Ryan Brown, but stat wise, Ryan Brown's disappointed me.
Yeah, I was gonna say he still has games where he's 0%, 13%, which isn't great. I think this is a very, very good point, and I think when Ryan Brown's shooting his shots, it's the same take I have on when Romar Dennis is hitting his shots against the Atlas. It changes the entirety of the offense.
It does.
Everything about your offense changes. Like even the thought of Ryan Brown shooting changes your rotations.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
and not all teams have a Ryan Brown. So I think it's a good take. I think it's a good take.
Yeah.
He's gonna need to show up if you guys are gonna jump. He's really gonna need to show up
for
time.
sure. So that's a good segue into week 6 predictions. I said week 4 actually. That was week 5. This will be week 6.
Is it? This is week 6. Okay.
So if you just tuned in, don't pay attention to my screw ups. But so looking ahead, so we've got the All-Star game this weekend. Next weekend will be week 6. We've got 4 more games. First one we've got is Redwoods Atlas. James, who do you like?
I have you know what? I'm not gonna do the Redwoods.
Where are we going with this one?
Time out.
Where are we going with this
I'm saying I'm not gonna do the Redwoods too dirty in that the easy answer is saying the Atlas are gonna smoke the Redwoods, and I don't think they will. I think the Redwoods will have another pretty close game, but still lose by 2.
So if the spread is 1.5 for the Atlas, do you think the Atlas win by 2 goals?
Yeah. Atlas win by 2 goals, 100%.
Okay, so you're taking Atlas to cover.
Yep. Atlas
All
cover, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I disagree. I think we were just talking about Redwoods have kept every game pretty close, competitive, except for the Chrome. I think this is a game where the wheels officially fall off for the Redwoods.
Oh no!
I think
like with Kelly in that though.
I think this is a 6 or 7 goal victory for the Atlas. I think this is bad. I think it's like 17-10.
Yikes, dude!
Dude, the Atlas are so much better than the Redwoods.
I know, but you're
so much better.
You're Bryce and chroming the Redwoods right now.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
It's kind of what.
If there's one game I think can get out of hand this weekend,
it's the Redwoods.
Redwoods gonna fucking win this game now. Watch.
Oh, this clip's gonna look really bad, by the way. Like
I'm going Atlas.
Really
I think this could be an overplay.
Wow.
This could be an overplay. I think there's gonna be a lot of offense in this game.
I do think a lot of offense as well. I don't know, man. I think I like Kelly kind of having like a 17 save game, man. I like that.
I mean, it's gonna be a great test for him.
Damn.
Going from Archers last week was a good test, but going to Atlas is a really good test.
They just have so many weapons.
I know.
You know, like.
So next game, we got your Chaos. Classic rivalry here, taking on the Whip Snakes. Little championship rematch.
Yeah, you go first.
I'm going Chaos. I'm taking Chaos in the upset.
I like that.
I mean, Whip Snakes are definitely gonna be favored in this game, so I'll take Chaos plus 1.5 easy. Yeah. I think I think Chaos are back. I think Blaze is playing just as good as Bernlor. I think if TK is back, that's a big factor. If TK doesn't play for you guys, Nardel's gonna dominate.
We're not gonna be able to like nickel and dime this like Jared Newman.
But I think your guys' defense, how good your defense is playing versus how bad the Whip Snakes offense is going to play or has been playing. I'll take Chaos in that matchup all day. So I'm taking Chaos.
Yep. I hate that it's a homer pick, but I actually think the same. I feel like the Whip Snakes turning the ball over wasn't as big of an issue when our offense didn't click, but now I think we're going to really make people get punished for turning the ball over. So I have us for sure over Whip Snakes by 3 goals, actually.
Love it.
Yeah.
Moving to Saturday, we've got Cannons versus the Archers. Who do you like here? I'm assuming Archers will be favored 1.5.
They will. So hear me out, and I'm glad this is recorded. I think this game, Lyle and Asher go off. I think they win.
You think Cannons win?
I do.
Oh.
I think Asher and Lyle are like, because even just looking at the stats, man, like they're both having good seasons, but none of it matters. Jake Pulver is on reserve because of their record. I feel like this is like a pissed off game. I feel like they go off.
That's a good point. I could see
that. It's getting that point in the season where it's like, yo, we're playing well, we're losing close games, like kind of like a fucking game. Like we're here, and I'm trying to win. So I have Cannons.
Wow. I didn't expect that. I've got Archers.
I've
got Archers in a close one. I will say I'm putting a little bullet below this one. if the Archers lose this game, I'm officially worried about the Archers.
Really?
I don't know why. I started off so week 1, I was like, Archers suck. Week 2 and 3, I was like, Archers are back. They're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Matt Moore looks like freaking great.
He does.
I don't know. The last 2 weeks and they won last week, but I've lost some confidence in the Archers. I don't know why.
Yeah. I mean,
I think they should be scoring a lot more than they are.
I think that's why. It's because we expect more. Just scoring alone, we expect.
Yes, they've been an offensive power. They're the Saints.
Yeah,
they put up 40 on teams.
They do.
So
they put up 40.
to only put up 9 against the Redwoods, 10.
Yeah.
Redwoods, their biggest strength is their defense. I get it.
Yeah.
Garrett Epple and Eddie Glazer are playing fantastic ball, but I'm taking Archers in a close one. I think this is a 1-goal game. So actually, if Archers are favored by 1.5, I'm taking Cannons.
You taking Cannons? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
is actually gonna be a really fun game. I really think it is.
I think it will. I think it'll be a good one.
I might put some money on Cannons, man. I'm feeling really good about this take.
Last game we got is, god damn, we have a hard schedule.
Yeah, you do.
Water Dogs versus the Chrome, dude. Like, are you kidding me? I want to pick the Water Dogs so bad here, but I can't. I have to go Chrome.
I mean, you don't have to.
I do. I've thought of every way to pick the Water Dogs. I can't.
It just doesn't happen. Okay.
I got to go Chrome. I just think they have too much firepower. I think if Dylan Ward plays, I think it'll be close. But if Matt DeLuca plays, I think he's going to get shelled. I still think behind the Atlas, the Chrome are the most complete team in the league. So Water Dogs I have at 3 right now, but
yeah,
I think there's a pretty big gap after 2, in between 2 and 3. So I think Atlas and Chrome have already shown the league they're the 2 best teams in the league
by far. So
I like Chrome in this one.
So let me ask my question, then I'll give you my take. Are we gonna get JT Giles Harris on Sours? Because I'll watch that any day of the week, dog. Are you kidding me?
I think you have to.
Right?
I think you have to.
Because he's the quickest cover defender they have.
For sure.
Right?
Wow. I will tune into every second.
That's what I'm saying. That's must watch TV.
I need a drone just on that matchup the entire game.
Yes, that's like our D Hop Jalen Ramsey. Like we love that. I don't know, man. I got your dogs, man. I got your dogs in this game. I do, man. I'm big dogs guy right now. I've watched that game. I've watched that game twice.
I know. I'm about to go rewatch it after.
It was different. I'm telling you, man. It was so different. The way you guys were rotating, it was just hit your stride. So I feel like what's wild about the PLL, man, is like when we're 4 or 5 weeks in, every record has an asterisk next to it.
It does.
It's like asterisk. Lyle Thompson was out 2 games. Asterisk. Grant Amon hasn't played. Asterisk.
NLL
games.
Yeah.
Like there's always there's always something. So I got your dogs, but I think like an OT game. I think super close.
Wow, I'm taking the over in this game for sure.
Like McCardell doing something late, kind of like he did this game. Man, that pass was so nice. I gotta watch that game.
I know. I'm going to rewatch it.
Yeah. The game was awesome. But yeah, I got the dogs.
Damn. Because we're the dogs. I would love that. That would be classic Water Dogs to start off 0-3 and then end up 3-3, beating like 2 of the top teams.
100%. I also I love your coach. I think the Water Dogs coach is
Andy Copeland. He's a good guy.
I think he's awesome. I think the players really respect him.
Dropped had a hot mic last week. Dropped a casual F-bomb on live television.
Huge F-bomb. They were like, Boyle was like, "Oh, yep."
Oh, we don't think he knew he was on the mic there.
Super hot mic. Wow.
All right. Well, we've got our picks in. I think once Samwise gets back into town, we'll upload some more.
Yeah,
maybe.
For sure.
So yeah, we probably won't upload next week. A few of us will be out of town, so we've got the All-Star break this weekend. But after week 6, we will be back with another episode. We will be covering the games on Twitter, so make sure you guys follow us on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Please. TikTok's just blowing up right now. So
it is. It's fantastic.
James is doing a great job with that one.
Appreciate it.
Anything to add?
No, not really. I mean, I do hope people really follow on Twitter. I think PLL Twitter has been fantastic over the last couple of weeks. Like a lot of people are hopping in, and I think every week I see a tweet that's like, "Hey, just start watching the PLL. Which team should I, join?" Which is awesome. I love that the league's
growing. I love that.
Week in, week out. But no, that's all I got.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will talk to you guys in 2 weeks. Peace.
Peace.